Alright. We'll start with Icebox first. Icebox is a good map to start with. The original Viper map. Alright. There are many different walls you can do on attack. Smoke line. I know some smoke lineups. Not many though. So for Icebox on attack, there's a B wall and there's an A wall, pretty much. Those are the main two walls. So if you want to throw the B wall off spawn, you get in this cubby right here, and you're gonna aim at this small line. You probably can't see it, but it's in between these two lines. Just aim in the middle of it. You want to aim at headshot level, or headshot level or below, and game phase. And that's how the wall looks.
Toxins going
so you can put up the wall, and your team can walk behind it. And once your team walks behind it, you can drop the wall, clear this angle, because these are the angles you have to be worried about. Some go out, clear this angle. This pretty much can give you, this wall can give you a way to walk out B main. Unless a team, pretty much the counter to this is if a team is playing a guy right here, which you'll probably hear him. You'll 100% hear him here, off spawn if you start B main. You'll hear him jump onto this box or TP. And then another angle you have to be wary of is up here. But these are both spots that can easily be heard if you're B main. And if you hear them, you can just drone them out and kill them. And so after walking up B main, you want to get yellow control. See, this is how the wall looks. You have this is what it covers. Some people will aim higher and cover this. I'll show you in a second how that looks. This is how the wall looks. You can plant pretty much around here. Sage wall maybe right here. Plant. Looking good. Plant the bomb. Done. A lot of teams will try to make sure you can't plant, so you're gonna have to do a lot of fake planting. Yo, Dan, thank you for the tier 1, dog. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this wall higher. So when you aim high, instead of headshot level, this is how the wall looks. That's what some teams like to do.
Toxins going up.
Looks like this. But there ends up being a gap right here. It depends how you want to play the round out. If you are more worried about this angle, you can put this wall, and you can leave a little gap right here. But for me, I prefer to do the one that goes on the floor and not doesn't cover up top. So yeah, that's another wall you can do. You don't have to throw the wall off spawn, by the way. You can just come into this little corner right here and look at your radar. You want to line it up with this. You see this? You want to line up your wall with this slant wall. So I just look at the radar, line it up with the slant wall,
toxins going up,
and then I get the same wall, pretty much the same wall. Maybe even gives me a little bit more space. So if you don't want to throw your wall off the spawn barrier, you can save your wall and then throw the wall from here.
Toxin screen down.
There's also a deeper wall you can throw. Like it's right here. This wall is
toxins going up.
Good and bad. If you're playing against an opper and you have a way of clearing this place out, or if you don't have a way of clearing this snow out, I can just operate here and just kill your whole team. So the only reason why you'd want to put this wall is if you can clear out snow, and then after that you can take snow control with the wall up. So for example, I have two riflers coming over here, swinging wide over here, and they're just fighting for this. You drop the wall, they can fight, or they can just have an opper post from yellow. Your opper can post from here when the wall's up and control this angle, and that way you have someone holding snow still, and you have deeper control of sight, so you can actually fight these angles, and it gives defense a lot less space to work with. What other walls are there at B? I think those are pretty much the attack walls at B that people use. I mean, people used to cut the site in half like this, but I don't think it's that great anymore. These are lineups for mollies for the bomb plant at B, pretty much the default plant. So if you see, in between I use my HUD for this. I'm on native res. In between my wall ability and my ultimate ability, there's a small white line. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like a white line right over here. So I'm gonna use that line. I'm gonna line it up with this part right here. It's a really precise lineup, and you might miss it a few times, but if you keep practicing it, you'll figure out how to make it. This is how you do the B Molly lineup. You line up the fucking white line at the bottom of this fucking triangle thing, or the top, I don't even know, the fucking tip, the bottom tip, whatever. Just aim here. Aim here. Figure out your lineup. This is the Molly for sure. Oh wait, I missed it. I moved my fucking mouse right here. This is the Molly lineup. Pro Viper gameplay. Pro Viper gameplay indeed. Alright, there you go. That's the fucking B Molly lineup. Clip it, ship it, figure out how to make it work yourself. Alright, so that's like all the B shit you pretty much need to know in attack. If you want to smoke mid, you can throw from multiple different spots. Whenever I'm starting towards B, I throw this orb. So you see this little cloud, I just aim to the right of it a little bit, and pretty much a little to the right here. You can probably find a HUD lineup if you wanted to. I don't really use the HUD, I just use the clouds. Throw it right here.
Poison orb
and that will smoke a mid. You can also throw mid smoke from right here. You aim at the bottom of this little, what is that, a mountain? This fucking, whatever this shit is, you just aim at the bottom of this.
Poison orb emitting.
And that's also how you smoke mid. That's pretty much it for mid. You just need to know the mid lineup. If you know you should probably throw the mid orb every round, because when you put the mid orb up, it applies a lot of pressure to other teams. For example, this is how it looks for them, right?
Poison orb emitting.
They have no idea if you can cross tube or not, so they have to dart or use util to make sure you don't, or they have to use 2 people and hold tube and mid. And if they don't use 2 people or util, you can just abuse it and start lurking up kitchen with this orb. Okay, so if you're going A, you can throw a straight wall like this, and this will get screens. So it's as if like a smoke right here, and this allows you to Viper backside control. But the only problem is, if you don't have another smoke character on your team, Heaven will not be smoked. So you probably don't want to throw this wall if you're the only smoke character. So if you're the only smoke character on your team, I recommend throwing this wall, because this wall will cover Heaven and like screens cross. So when you're scaling on site, it's gonna look like this. It's even a gap here. It's like a one-way. I think I killed Zombs here. I saw him walk in this corner and I just sprayed him. It's really good. This wall is really good because it covers Heaven as well when you're scaling on site. For Molly lineups for A, I aim right here. If you look at my second bar on my toxins, there's a bar right here. I look at the second bar and I line it up with this line right here. So this is how the Molly looks. This is for the default plant and ropes plant. So if I plant, you can plant here, you can plant here, and this Molly will get both. Some sages will wall like this and plant in this little corner right here, right? And if in the case your team doesn't want to fight for sight and they're playing strictly post plant, there's a Molotov for that too. You can aim right here, and you aim, I believe, right over here. It should bounce off the floor and it gets that plant. If you plant right there, that's the Molly. Normal teams will... Here, I'll show you how they plant. This is how the Molly looks. You're not going to be planting over here. You're going to be planting on this part, so there's literally no edge for them to be able to defuse the bomb. Shouldn't be anyway. If you do end up having an orb for whatever reason, you can just throw your orb on bomb. And if you throw your orb on bomb, it actually is insane because it does massive damage to the diffusers. So if I pop my orb and Molly, these guys are for sure dying. If they're sitting in the orb and they're in the Molly, they're dying. They're gonna die if they defuse the bomb. They can't defuse the bomb. They can't even get half with how much damage it does. So if you do have your orb, you should put it on the bomb. And if you're throwing post-up Mollys, you should put it on the bomb. And yeah, you don't always have to use the mid smoke. If you have a different way of, if you have like an Omen on your team that can smoke mid for you, that's good. If you're on attack though, an attack ult you want to do is pretty good. It's ulting right here. And you ult right here, you give so much space for your team. That's how it looks. This is what the enemies have to clear. This whole spot. You can be literally enemy can be under the rafters, everything. And also you can see their legs. You can see their legs when they come out, so they can't scale on the rafters without you seeing them, and you can just spam them. You'll see their red legs and you just kill them. I mean, there's some pretty good Viper ults. Some people like to go on 410 and ult. People that like to go on 410 and ult will, looks like this, but on defense you can ult 410. You can ult, even ult pipes maybe. Some people like to ult pipes like this. This one might actually just be a better ult because it gets more. Yeah, this is actually the better ult. You should be ulting like this on defense. If you're ulting A, it gets a lot more. And then if you're playing A and you want a one-way for A, so you pretty much want to line up your orb with this. Just aim to the height of this gray bar. You throw it.
Poison orb.
You get a one-way right here. This one-way's alright. You can play here. You can also play here. But it's not going to stop enemy team from coming.
Poison's off.
There's two different ways you can retake A. With like two different walls, but they both do the same thing pretty much. You want to do this wall that lines up with... You want to line it up with the 410 box, so it gets on top of 410. So you aim high, so the beads will land on top of 410. And the wall will look like this. You have to be wary about these angles right here. Pipes maybe. Those are the main angles you have to worry about. Yeah, I mean, one-way orbs aren't that great at A, but I'd say on B they're better. This is a wall that Angel throws from FPX. If you see him, he's also lining up with the top of 410, and he aims high, and he'll shoot it right there. And it will be just like a normal. In that way, when Viper's playing B, you have a faster wall being put up at A. If the Viper's holding the wall on your team, he can throw a wall like this from the other side of the map, and it'll still get A. That's pretty much it for A on defense. On B, this is how I play it. I throw my one-way orb like this. I line up with this line right here. Aim at this spot right here, right under here. And that's my orb. The way I play around it. I can shoot their legs here. But you don't want to overextend here because if they swing, they can see you. You want to stay around here. Make sure you can only see their legs. And then I can play yellow with this orb up, and they won't know. Or I can play here. Anywhere, pretty much. It's a one-way orb. So pretty much as Viper, you cannot solo hold B main. You won't be able to solo hold B main. You need teammates to help you. So this orb is to delay them at B. Once they push you off and you're playing retake and you save your wall, you can throw this wall. And this wall will look like this. And the bomb will be right here. You can tap the bomb. They won't know if you're defusing it or not. And they can just fight them right here. And just kill them when the wall goes down. You can pretty much throw from anywhere. You just want to make sure you're past this line right here. Like right here is good too. You can throw from right here. You can most of these Viper rolls you can throw them from anywhere. But you just want to make sure you're getting the main objective down. There are times where you want to use the wall, but this is more when you're more coordinated with your team, I'd say. You put the wall like this, and it's actually a pretty good wall for holding B. And it denies them information at mid. This is how the wall looks at mid, this is how the wall looks at A, and then the wall looks like this at B. So it's really easy to fight with because they have to run through the wall, and they take 50 damage. You can just fucking take your fights. You'll have the advantage taking these fights. It's good. These are good fights for you. You should be taking these fights, and especially if there's someone else with you, these are even better fights because you'll crush them if they come B. This wall is you shouldn't use it every round. You should use it some rounds and just to switch up the pace and show a different look to the enemy team. Make sure you're not doing the same thing every round. If you're gonna ult B main, there's gonna be a spawn barrier right here. But after the spawn barrier goes away, you can drop your ult right there, and the ult looks like this. And it's pretty good actually, because they have to walk in your ult. The only way you can pretty much die here is, well, if they have 5 people running to the ult, or if they drone you out. And you want to avoid getting tagged by ults, by drone ults or wolf. You want to avoid being tagged by all that shit, or else you lose the Viper ult because you'll die. And you don't want, that's like the last thing you want with your Viper ult. You want to get maximum use out of it. Whenever I'm on attack, I like to ult be like this.
Don't get in my way.
And I'll plant right here. And then if they jump down, I kill them. You want to have multiple people playing in the ultimate. They jump down, you tap, you kill them because they're so low. They're gonna dive bomb you because they want to deny the plant because they know if they don't deny the plant or they don't kill you early, they're not gonna end up winning the round. Teams will just constantly spam the smoke and pray they kill you. In defense, you think the wall is early is better, or it's really good for using for retakes. Most teams should be using it for retakes unless you have a strat based around the wall. That's aggressive. It's really hard to retake without a wall in this meta with the post-plant mollies. I have a molly to deny the A plant. I capped. It's this one. This 1, 2 squares from here. That's how the molly looks. That's the deny A plant. All these lineups are really important. If you don't know the lineups, it's really weird. It's gonna be harder to play Viper, but you can always use your radar. Always use your radar to put them the walls. I think that's pretty much it though on Icebox for Viper. hope you guys learned something new. I'll probably show Viper got on like bind or something later.
Sugar, there's a